Hello everybody and welcome to the 6th round of our F1 2016 live career mode. It is the big one, it is the Monaco Grand Prix, and the first time this series we are streaming this race live on YouTube right now, as last season while I was away on holiday I had to do this one. Unfortunately it's a highlighted video, so I apologise for that. So on there, but it is the Monaco Grand Prix, the toughest one for me to do live and race at the same time to talk on there. And before we start, guys, let's see what the agent's got to say about our expectations for this race. So let's see how we get on with this one. So let's see what she says.
Hey, how are you? I have some information on the race goals you should keep in mind.
So in this one we've got to finish 6th or higher and beat Vettel and beat Carlos Sainz and stay 8th in the championship or higher. So this is going to be interesting. In the last episode, guys, which happened literally a few minutes ago, for qualifying, we did a bit of an interesting strategy. We are starting 6th on the grid, but we will be on the super soft tyre, while everyone else will be on the ultra soft tyre in the top 10, minus Daniel Ricciardo as well, who is also on the same tyre as me. If you missed the qualifying as well, the big change is Manor are now the 4th quickest team and have jumped Mercedes, of all people. I'll let you get that over your heads, guys, before we start this episode off. If you're new around here, guys, make sure to slap a like on this and subscribe if you want to see more of this live career mode series. It is one to do. It's my favourite one to do. It's exciting, exciting, exciting. I've said that 3 times, so what are you gonna? And I said before we do this, if we hit 10,000 subscribers, guys, I will do a shoey on a video. So I'll leave that up to you guys if you want me to do it. So if you want to see me do a shoey, you know what to do on there. But let's head on to the track anyway. It is now time for the main event. It is the Monaco Grand Prix and it's live, guys. Let's do this.
Motor racing has come a long way since the first Grand Prix of the early 20th century. We have faster cars, bigger circuits, highly trained drivers who've dedicated their lives to racing. But still, we return here. Still, it remains the most desired victory in Formula One. Still, we race the Monaco Grand Prix. The astonishing Circuit de Monaco is, for all intents and purposes, virtually unchanged since its inaugural race back in 1929. The faster cars of today, though, ensure the 19 corners past the casino and along the seafront remain as thrilling as ever. A 2.1-mile lap here takes us around an entire country, yet never more than inches from the race-ending barriers. I'm joined again today by none other than Anthony Davidson. Tell me, Ant, obviously there's a lot of development work that goes on with these cars between the races. You've been both a test driver and a race driver. What differences are there in the way you approach those roles?
Interesting question, Crofty. They're two very different mindsets. I mean, when I tested for BAR, we had full in-season testing where, per driver, you'd cover up to 15,000 kilometres per season. And in that role, it was more about working for the team, trying to help them improve the car and drive as systematically as you could, so that that data could be analysed in the most consistent way. When you're lining up on the grid for a race, however, your frame of mind's all about what you can get out of the situation on that day, and the car's the tool to help you achieve what you want. You still want to focus on setup, of course, but it's more about the here and now, getting yourself as far up the field as possible, and less about development work for the future.
Okay, don't try anything silly into one. It's going to be crazy in there. Just do your best to stay out of trouble.
Well then, after an exciting qualifying session yesterday, let's take a look at how the cars line up. Kimi Raikkonen's perfect lap yesterday sees him start from pole position, and starting alongside is Fernando Alonso. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Vettel, Verstappen, Daniel Ricciardo, and a Toro Rosso, Hamilton, Button, Sainz, and Rio Haryanto.
So here we are, guys, on the grid for the Monaco Grand Prix, and as you can see, we are on the super soft tyre as we set that in Q2, and we are going to do the one-stop strategy, and as you can see, it's going to be a long one as we're going to go onto the super soft tyre. We may pit earlier than lap 23 to go onto the ultra soft tyre, so we're going to see how we do. it's personally the best strategy for me to do. I wanted to start on these tyres as we will avoid all the pit calamities, but it may affect us if a safety car comes out, which I don't really want to have in this one. So we're going to head now onto the formation lap, which obviously you guys know. If you don't, it's the new feature for F1 2016, well, one of the new features, and it's one that I quite like, so.
Okay, our system checks are good. We need to stay in formation and start bringing the car up to temperature, please. Get some load into the tyres and work the brakes. We want them nice and warm by the end of the lap.
Okay, just Jeff informing us there. Me and Ricciardo are the only two runners on the super soft tyre for this one in the top 10, so. And I've tapped the wall already, so that's not the best of starts there, guys. But look, it's the formation lap, so it's nothing too serious on there. So we're ahead of Hamilton and Rosberg, who was the massive surprise of qualifying, if you've not seen it. Starts down in 17th place, so I wish you could replicate that in real life, but it seems he's going to win the championship on there. So it's one of the longest on the in the season as well. I think it's like 39 laps, I think this one is. So it is a long one, but it's one I love doing in any career mode episode. So for the challenge, the narrow street circuit, it is a brilliant track to drive on. And we'll see if this strategy we do works a treat for us, but we'll see how we go in this one. But the aim is to finish really in the points, is a target for me. Not going to beat Sebastian Vettel with the rival challenge, so don't really expect me guys to do that. Vettel only needs to get one discipline to beat me, so I think he's already done that, but my goal is to beat Sainz again, because he's only a few positions behind me, and obviously maybe challenge for third place in the Constructors' Championship is my goal, as well with Toro Rosso. So we'll see how we go as we now make our way onto the grid slot now of P6, as we are on the outside, which is not where I really wanted to be, if I'm honest. I wanted to be on the inside, but we'll see how we go as we're now lining up on the grid for this one, and let's see how we go with this one. It's going to be a long one, so let's see how we go as we're now, everyone is now almost on the grid for the Monaco Grand Prix. We are on a very good strategy here. Well, hopefully the best strategy, but we'll wait and see as everyone is now on the grid. Charlie Whiting puts the lights on. It is now the Monaco Grand Prix live on YouTube Season 2. Let's see how we go, and the lights are out and away we go. And it's a good start from us as we've already got past Ricciardo. A fantastic start, but we have to back out of that because there's no real overtaking opportunities. But we're going to go around the outside of Ricciardo, and a brilliant move there on us. Verstappen's trying to make a pass on Vettel. They've made contact already, and it's not even the end of the first lap yet. So very, 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 very... Oh, my lord, back end still out there. We've got away with it, nearly going to the wall there. A bit of a lock up there, so a bit of a crazy start from us, but we've got past Ricciardo, which is definitely who I need to get ahead of, considering he's on the same tyre as us, but we're up to P5. So it's a good start there, and I can slowly calm down. We've got yellow flags out already, so I don't know what's happened behind us. I think there could be a pile-up, actually. I think there's a pile-up because they're not moving, so this could be interesting if there could be a red flag. I'm not sure if there will be, or no safety car yet, so I'm very surprised, actually. So that's going to be interesting if there isn't a safety car, but there was a pile-up at the hairpin, which is kind of obvious that was going to happen, but it wasn't with us, so that's always a good start. So, but the main priority is staying ahead of Daniel Ricciardo, who is on the same tyre strategy as us. So we'll see how we go as we come across the line. We're still P5. Obviously the cars in front will be quicker than us as they are on the ultra soft tyre, and obviously we're on the super soft, so we will be obviously technically slower, but hopefully the traffic's been cleared, and I think it has been cleared, so that's definitely what we want, and it has done. So back under racing conditions now in this sector, so we already need 2 seconds slower at the minute to Vettel, but obviously not really concerned about that at the minute. Vettel, obviously one of my rivals, who we are going to lose out to, unfortunately, in the battle between him and myself, but not really fussed about that at the minute, as we're starting to pull away just a little bit on Ricciardo at the minute, but We'll see how we go. Obviously we've got heavy cars, so the times, oh my lord, back end stood out there. The times will be a bit slow to start off with, but obviously we have got heavy cars at the minute, so we'll see how we go in this one. So we go over the curbs. So we're going to brake then. And I've just done what I did not want to do there. But we just got away with it, and Ricciardo's done the same thing actually.
Virtual safety car has been deployed.
And Hulkenberg's out the race, but
Slow down, maintain a positive delta.
that's a bit of a crazy start there.
It looks like the problem is terminal. They're retiring the car.
So we turned in too early. The right rear tapped the wall when we spun. Ricciardo behind us did the same thing as well, which caused the pile up and actually caused Nico Hulkenberg to retire from the race. So all things are happening right now in this race. We've got the virtual safety car out at the minute, obviously for Ricciardo's gluing to the wall. So the nice wall tap there obviously is going to happen, of course, but
Virtual safety car is ending. Maintain
we got away with it.
until the green flag. VSC ending. Wait for green.
So let's go then. DRS is now enabled, of course, for us. But we got away with that there. Scot-free. So we are lucky enough, we're lucky to stay in this race and not lose that much time, of course. So we're very, very lucky there. And we need to avoid turning in a bit too early, because that we don't want a repeat of that in this race. Still got to do another 37 times of that. But that's what I mean, trying to do this live and talking is very difficult to do. But I like doing it because it's fun. And I don't really want to bottle it for you guys, so we've still got a nice gap to Ricciardo. We've gone purple in the final sector, which is very good.
The gap to the car behind is 3.9 seconds.
And Alonso still in the podium position, so McLaren very, very strong actually, and I am a keen interest of them, so for a possible drive next season potentially. Obviously we've got two oldies in the team now, Alonso and Jenson Button, so they may both go next season. We'll have to wait and see. And we'll see about that, but we're now slowly catching up to Sebastian Vettel right now. Oh, tapped the wall there just a little bit, but just a little touch. As we're catching up now to Sebastian Vettel, who may be starting to see signs of rear degradation, maybe. Because obviously their tyres are obviously the qualifying tyres, and with these current conditions, the tyre wear may be an issue for those on the ultra soft. So we'll wait and see if that is the case. Lots of debris. Oh my lord, just locked up there. Took too much speed, locked up as well in the process, and that's what happened to us there. We've got to come across the line for an 18. As long as we keep the gap relatively fine, we should be fine.
7.1 seconds.
But remember guys, we are on the slower tyre to the rest of the pack around us, apart from Ricciardo obviously. So our main priority is to keep a relatively big a relative gap to Ricciardo behind us of around about 5 seconds if we can, but he's just gained a little bit on us in the first sector, and I just took a lot of curb there, which if I put a bit more power on, it would have been a game over for us. So far it's not been too bad. Come into the chicane section again, nearly hit the wall, but I have got a strategy planned if the safety car comes out any time before lap 22, I've got to guess, 21-22. If it comes out before then, obviously I will go into the pits and go onto the soft tyre to the end of the race, of course. Obviously if it's lap 22 or more, we'll go onto the ultra soft tyre to the end of the race. So, because the ultra softs can go for about well, 17-18 laps. A fresh set can, I believe. So these cars in front will probably be pitting anytime soon. Just go a little bit wide through Casino Square section. What's the gap now? 2.1 to Sebastian Vettel in front. Ricciardo's catching us back again. Not by much, but it's only about a tenth and a half, 2 tenths. So I'm not really fussed about that in a minute. As you can just see the tyre wear, only 13%. So these tyres can go very long in this one. If I don't read your comments, by the way, guys, you know why. Because I actually want to concentrate for this one. Oh my lord, I needed the wall as well. Just hitting the curb there. We've already got back markers already. There's some blue flags out, so I don't know who they're for. See as we come across the line what the time is now. Oh, we've hit the wall again. Just about holding it there in the right position. So we're lucky once again. We have got some lucky stars on us here tonight. Well, tonight, tomorrow, wherever you are. If you're into tomorrow, I have no idea what the time zones are, wherever you are in the world, but.
Gap to car in front is 2.6 seconds.
And we hit the wall again, wheel banging the wall. Starting to bottle it, guys. We're starting to bottle it. The pressure's coming to me, which is obviously not what we want right now. So I really want to get on that podium, but we're starting to see some signs of pressure coming to me right now. And obviously don't want that. Trying to just get round this last sector without saying anything. Actually worked out a treat here. Just try not to cut that turn 1 because you can get some warnings and obviously a penalty. Of course, we don't want to be getting any of them today. We haven't had a penalty yet this season for corner cutting, so we have improved a bit on our not having a streak of penalties that we had at the start of the first season, of course. Try and go full lock around that corner. Sebastian Vettel's being held up by some back marker, so that's definitely going to help us catch back up again. Don't know who it is, but he's still being held up actually. You can see the blue dot on the map, just informing us that the car that is highlighted blue should give way to Vettel, so Vettel must be raging right now. It's a Renault, I think it is. I don't know if it's Palmer or Kevin Magnussen, so we'll have to wait and see once we get to that part. And it's Jody and Palmer as well, so this is helping me massively right now. Catch up to Sebastian Vettel, and Palmer finally lets Vettel through.
Okay, gap ahead is 1.4 seconds.
So we managed to get some massive time back on Sebastian Vettel there. Hopefully Palmer's going to be nice here and let me through after Casino Square. Come on Palmer, let me through, mate. This is going to be the pain, this is. I'm going to feeling that pain from Sebastian Vettel. And is he going to let me through anytime soon? Finally he does, but not in the best of places, if I'm honest. He's supposed to help out a fellow Brit, Jodian, not bad Jodian Palmer. Just go over the curve just a little bit there. And we've got to try and catch back up to Sebastian Vettel again. So we were right on him before we got held up by Jody and Palmer. Also, it's going to be hurting our tyres a little bit.
You're locking your front tyres. Try adjusting the brake balance back.
Shut up, Jeff.
Okay, copy that.
Don't want Jeff talking to me at this point, obviously. It is a bit distracting hearing what Jeff has to say. But now the ultra soft runners may be starting to feel a little bit of tyre wear on them now, potentially. So that's definitely where I want to be right now. As once they pit, we will take the lead of the race, which is obviously what we want right now. Right in the back now, Sebastian Vettel. Just under a second now, which obviously means one thing. We've got to get DRS for the first time this race. Vettel really struggling for grip right now on these ultra softs. So something we have to think about. So we got to get that DRS for the first time, and someone's in the pit lane. It's Fernando Alonso is the first man to blink in this Monaco Grand Prix. We set a new PB of a 17.1, so maybe he's going for an undercut here to try and stay ahead of the car in front of him, which I believe is Max Verstappen. Wait, yeah, it is Max Verstappen actually, if you just see in the distance, but Vettel's tyres going off the cliff quite quickly here, so we're just going to have to try and find a way of passing him. Now Palmer's got Ricciardo now for company, which is going to help me even more in terms of keeping Ricciardo back throughout this one. So go under the bridge, try and break a little bit later than the German, which we have done. Let's do some short shifts, of course. Just about holding it, just about. Let's go over the curbs. We're right in the back now. Would try and make a move here, but just not worth it. Just trying to get as close as possible and try and get the power down as quickly as possible. We're into that slipstream. Can we make a move into turn 1? No, we can't. It's too late to make a pass. Which obviously may help Ricciardo catch us up a little bit if he's got past Jody and Palmer, but we can't pass here at Casino Square. Just got to hold back just a little bit. Obviously slow us down. The race leader there, Raikkonen, just coming onto the little back straight under the tunnel. So we're not far off the lead, but I really would like to get on the podium here in Monaco. Would be a great achievement. I think we never got on the podium in Monaco last season, so I would like to get on there. Oh, nearly went to the back of Vettel there. Just braked suddenly, I don't know why, but we got away with it there. Not going to do our front tyres though, the justice that they deserve. So Raikkonen's still staying out there. So Alonso, very interestingly, doing a very weird strategy, I think. He's got to be on a free stop, or he's going to try and go on the soft tyre to the end of the race, which will be extremely interesting, I've got to say. So we'll have to see if his strategy works out for him later on in the race. Obviously you never know, the safety car may come out. Now right on the back of Vettel, once again the gap behind 6 seconds, so won't have to worry about Ricciardo anytime soon, which is not too bad. Just lost the back end just a little bit there, getting a bit of oversteer, but not too bad at the minute, I've got to say. Just not going to go up a gear, just to help us in this chicane section. Still Raikkonen stays out at the minute, so I've got to say, I think Alonso here is in the crap. And Vettel pits as well, which clears us. So Vettel trying to do a bit of an undercut on us when we pit, of course, but we're not going to be pitting for a while, of course. So I know I've just said those two words in the same sentence, but oh well. Sainz is in the pits as well. Which obviously clears the way for us to try and catch up to the next man, which obviously is Max Verstappen. So if we can close the gap up, we could maybe, once we pit, obviously we'll go into the ultra soft to the end of the race. But this is giving me a clear indication of when to pit, of course. I mean, the game's telling me to pit on lap 23, but obviously we are going to be running on a fresh set of the ultra softs, while these guys obviously did the Q2 laps on these tyres. We should be fine, as our tyre wear has actually been quite impressive in the last few races, especially Spain. So we can definitely take that on the chin. That was way too aggressive there, so I had to lift off as the race leader Kimi Raikkonen enters the pit lane. Verstappen stays out, so it will be Max Verstappen leading the Monaco Grand Prix from Kimi Raikkonen, who is now on to the set of the super soft tyre, which will take him hopefully to the end of the race. So we are now up to second place. And this would be interesting if the safety car comes out now, so we can make a free pit stop. Just locking up there, getting a lot of oversteer on the car. So we're trying to catch up to Max Verstappen, which we are doing so. The gap now being 2.5 seconds, the gap, so his tyres are going to be on the cliff right now, so he has to pit. If I was Max Verstappen, I would pit now and not lose too much time to the likes of Sebastian Vettel and Fernando Alonso. So that's going to be interesting once he pits on there, which will move us up to the lead of the race. Good news for Raikkonen, though, is he's ahead of Daniel Ricciardo. So Raikkonen's pulled off a worldie of a first stint to hold off Daniel Ricciardo at this point. So will Max Verstappen pit this time by? He does indeed, which will now mean we take the lead of the Monaco Grand Prix, but not like that, of course. That's not how you're supposed to take the last corner. But we hit the side of the car, so we just about got away with that again. We've been so lucky in this Monaco Grand Prix already, so the luck's on our side this afternoon. Around the streets, we're starting to struggle just a little bit. Just might be the temperatures, but I think Rich isn't really helping me right now with the back end sliding out. So again we've hit the wall. We're being very sloppy right now. We need to stop that, because that is not going to help our cause anytime soon. So we need to stop doing that, Ryan. Come on. Get your head in the game. We need to win this one, or get on the podium. Podium's my goal in this one. But you never know, a win's a possibility.
Some information on Palmer. They have an issue with their car. They're going to be slow.
Now Raikkonen's caught just a little bit on us. Luckily for us, though, I think Verstappen's been held up by Jolyon Palmer, who we've just mentioned on the radio that he's got an issue with his car. So that's interesting, as Raikkonen sets the fastest lap of the race. So he's up by 0.3 of a second on us, which is obviously not what we wanted to hear. But we will be on the faster tyre, guys, very soon. So we will be hopefully catching up to Raikkonen. But we'll have to wait and see. The wall there. Obviously we don't want to do that anytime soon. Back end sliding out again. And 35% actually on the tyre wear, which is interesting, of course. But so the super soft doing very well here to hold out for as long as possible. Oh, just again, locking up. And that's not how to take the swimming pool complex. That's definitely not how to take the swimming pool complex. Just starting to struggle now. As Raikkonen now is all over the back of us. So Raikkonen is in the box seat here. As our tyres starting to go off, so it just shows how quick the Ferrari is at the minute in this race. It's very good at its race pace as Max Verstappen now sets the fastest lap of the race. So we're starting to struggle now. In this one, so concentration now is the key. If we can just keep a gap to Verstappen, we could stay a bit close to him and make a move for it. So it's going to be very hard, this one. We can try and hold off Raikkonen. That would be good for a start, because obviously we will be on the faster tyre and we've got plenty of laps to try and catch back up, of course. And the safety car, if there is one, will play a massive role if that comes out when we pit. So we've got to think about that as possible scenarios. If there's no safety car in this race, I would be surprised. So we'll have to wait and see. Tyres again. 40% on the rears. Back end sliding out once again. Trying to avoid the wall again. And now it's all aboard the Ryan train right now as Raikkonen has joined the party right behind us, of course. Pitting on the ultra soft, okay, just clarifying. So we're going to be pitting in a couple of laps' time. I don't know why the blue flags were flashing there, no idea why. So we've got some people coming into the pit lane and I hit the wall again, just a little bit. This is not what we want. There's someone holding up the pack at the last corner, which is interesting, which is going to help us a little bit. So we've only got now the half distance point of the race. 20 laps to go in this one.
Some information on Palmer. It seems they fixed whatever the problem was.
Back end sliding out again. Palmer's car's back up to speed, which obviously is not really relevant for us. Locking up the back end there. But keeping a relatively good gap here to Raikkonen's helping us just a little bit. So we're coming up now to 19 laps to go then of this Monaco Grand Prix. We're still leading the way. Only one retirement, which was Hulkenberg, who had the crash at the I can't remember what the corner name is. I think it's Raskas. I could be wrong on corner names because I don't really know any of them apart from Sandervot. And the swimming pool complex. Good to see Tom in the chat as well. Just seen him, just had a quick glance at the chat because I'm not even reading the chat right now because I'm that focused on trying to do well here. Obviously, I know Tom's in the Ferrari at the minute for his career mode. If you haven't seen his channel, guys, make sure to hit his name in the chat and check out his channel. I like what he's got planned from what I've heard of some series. So make sure, guys, check out Tom97HD in the chat, his channel. The line again. Still setting some reasonable pace here, I've got to say, on worn super soft tyres, the 17s, and we're actually putting away from Raikkonen just a little bit. That's definitely what we want. Obviously fuel's going to be a factor here. As you can see, we're now down to half a lap's worth. And hit the wall again. Don't want that. Do not want that at all. Just need to try and get into that little space there between the first group of cars, and then there's a massive group in a massive train in the second group. And I want to try and get in the middle of that if I can, or get somewhere behind the first pack if I can. So it's going to be very interesting as well. We are struggling right now for grip. These have gone now for 22 laps, these super soft tyres. So I'm kind of thinking, actually, if we're struggling now, Alonso especially is not going to last to the end of the race on a set of this super soft tyre. So it will be interesting to see if Alonso gets to the end on a one-stopper here, pitting that early. Trying to avoid that wall again. The virtual safety car will be nice as well, but I don't think that's going to happen. Raikkonen now all over the back of us once again. Tyre wear 50% all around. So we're going to be now making off only pit stop of the race right now, and go on to the ultra soft tyre as Rosberg sets the fastest lap of the race now. No idea where he is in all of this. We'll be going into the pit stop. No idea where the pit entry line is, and we got it absolutely spot on there. So we're going to be pitting now onto the ultra soft tyre to the end of the race. And it's a good stop there. It's a flat 2 seconds there on there. So we're now into the pits. And where's this going to pull us? We're going to be behind Lewis Hamilton. So, oh no, that's Kevin Magnussen. I do take that back. I thought that was Lewis Hamilton, but we're going to be popping out in 5th place ahead of the massive train of cars. So this has actually worked out a treat for me. Actually, some nice clean air. We've only got one lapped car to get past, which is obviously Kevin Magnussen, and then we should be fine, as we've got another lapped car holding up the massive train. So we've got 16 laps really to catch up to the likes of Raikkonen and Verstappen, who are on the super soft tyre, which I don't think is possible unless a safety car comes out and saves us, but we'll see. But I'm going to be going into lean in the slower corners here, just to save a little bit of rear deg here, because the fronts are fine, it's just the rear degradation's the issue for this track. So we're just going to do some short shifts, lean mix as well, and I just got away with that there. So we've got yellow flags there. We've got a yellow flag actually popping out in the middle sector, so possible safety car perhaps. But still getting yellow flag, blue flags from Magnussen, and is he going to let me through? It would be nice if you could let me through, mate. And he finally does, as we get DRS as well, which is going to be very handful for us and helpful. Oh, we get glued to the wall again, so the side pods are saving us here. So now we've got to hunt down Sebastian Vettel now in that Ferrari. So we've got to lead up now to quite a few cars up ahead, and again we hit the wall. That bloody wall on the inside, I just can't resist tapping it just a little bit. Just trying to get everything into gear now. We've got to let's get a move on, but this is where the pad works brilliantly, I think, compared to a wheel. And there is Sebastian Vettel actually, just ahead of a Sauber, I believe. So he's not far up the road, is Sebastian, but he's only 3 seconds there, so this could work out nicely here for us. The traffic may help us, but it can also be a curse as well. So we have to wait and see if we can get past the first of the Saubers in this race. We set a 16.6 actually, so not that bad. We're going to go up to Rich for this lap. It's Marcus Ericsson, the first man of the Saubers, that we're going to have to try and get past here. So we've gone purple in the first sector. Definitely what we want. And Marcus Ericsson is now going to start to hold us up here, which is not obviously what we need right now, but hopefully he should let me through at this corner, which he does indeed, so thank you, Marcus. Do me a massive favour, of course. Go into the slow chicane and we get back on the power. We can see a bit more of that Ferrari now. Sebastian Vettel, who was the Season 1 champion in the career mode, having a bit of a poor season, I've got to say. Not living up to the first season's expectations. And this is for 4th place as well, so Alonso must have pitted, I think. So we're going to get a lovely bit of slipstream on the German down the straight, and we set the fastest up of 14.9. And that just shows you the speed we've got in this car. And that is very, very impressive, I've got to say. Slipstream helped us a little bit there, but that's nailing the lap around this track. Right there. And is that a McLaren actually? Is that Alonso ahead of Vettel? It is Alonso actually, so we've got the two 3rd and 4th place drivers just ahead of us here. And I really want to get past Vettel right now, because Vettel seems to be just not liking these super soft tyres, as we're actually on the ball here. So we've got a lovely bit of slipstream here. Maybe go for a lunge into this corner. We're going to make the move, commit to it. Got to give him some room here, Sebastian. Just a bit of wheel banging there. Feels like a bit of Ricciardo Hamilton here. And we get it done with the traction of the ultra soft tyres, and we move up to P4, but brilliant driving there at first, but the wheel banging didn't really help, but it's all part of racing. And we got on the power straight away earlier, and we got the position. And now we're hunting down Alonso, who's in the pits, coming off the set of the super soft tyres. So he is now committed to the 2-stopper, and I think he's going to be going on the ultra softs now to the end of the race. So very interesting call from McLaren there, considering Alonso was 2nd on the grid. Very surprised, to say the least, with that. So we've still got a long way to go in this one. We've still got 12 laps remaining. And we're in the podium positions. We've got 4 seconds to catch up to Max Verstappen, who's the next man for us to hunt down. And that's a lot of airborne there. Slowed us completely down as Vettel caught a little bit on us there. So not particularly going what I expected in the first stint, but hopefully this second stint, which is working very nicely at the minute. We're into 3rd. We're in the podium positions at the minute, pulling away from Sebastian Vettel, so the strategy is working for us at the minute. Don't know where Daniel Ricciardo is in all of this, of course. Just go into the hairpin section, get that absolutely spot on. The question is though, we need to think about tyre wear come end of the race. Is going to be the factor here. So we've got 3 seconds to catch up to Verstappen. And then it's about 9 seconds, I think, to Kimi Raikkonen. I'm not sure, though, if my maths is correct, if that is the case. It's not that blob in front of us, I believe, which obviously is Max Verstappen, but I think it's the one there that just gone round the hairpin is Kimi Raikkonen. As we set purple in the first sector once again. Obviously we are on rich, so we will have to save a bit of fuel at some point just to help us get to the end of the race, but you know me guys, I like to push. Because I really want to get at least a third place, and we already got that confirmed as we're putting away massively from Sebastian Vettel, so we've got to hope that the tyres don't blow up on us like it did in Bahrain on the last lap when we were on course for our first podium of the season. So the gap's down to 1.8 seconds, so we are really catching up to Verstappen. So the super soft tyres not really working for the Dutchman. But we've got to think about it, guys. We've got to be quick now, but at the end of the race we won't be as quick than the people on the super soft tyres, with these tyres degrading quite quickly. Only got 12%, so it's not too bad at the minute. Just trying to avoid all the walls here. So we're now right on the back of Verstappen. We're only just over the DRS detection for us. Obviously it's a second or less for us to get that DRS. So we need to keep this going. Into the slow chicane section once again. Bit of damage there. I don't know who that is, but there's a bit of an end plate there on the racing line, so that's something that I need to be wary about. We didn't pick it up and get some damage. Just come into the hairpin once again. We're right on the back of Verstappen. We have got that DRS, which is very important for us. Down the straight we go.
They're slowing down. It seems like there's some kind of problem with their car.
So the Haas has got issues, but we're just going to stay behind Verstappen a little bit here. Save a bit of fuel for the assault on Kimi Raikkonen when we get there. To that point, we've only got just under 9 laps to go of this one, and Raikkonen actually is catching up to back markers, which is going to help us even more as we try to hunt down the Finnish driver for a possible win here this afternoon. And he's actually getting held up here, and he's just let someone through. We've got a yellow flag actually in this sector. I don't know what's happened up ahead, but we've got a yellow flag, so this could be interesting, this one. I don't know who it is, but we've got a slow car on the track. It is the Haas of Gutierrez actually, who has the issue with the car, and he's just blocking the road. He's got a puncher actually, and that has cost us there. That puncher for Gutierrez blocking the track there. Verstappen just got away with that. Should really be a safety car if I'm honest, if he holds the pack up. If that is the case, we will stay out of course. The tyres are absolutely fine. And he's coming into the pits now is Esteban. So we've got to do all that hard work again, which just gives Raikkonen that chance to pull away even more, which is obviously not what we want in this. So we're still not going to give up though. You saw how much we gained on Verstappen with one lap, in one lap. So we've only got 8 to go. If we can get past Verstappen, that'll be fantastic. Obviously helps Raikkonen out in the championship. We had a bit of a screen freeze there. That's definitely not what I wanted right now. But it's in the right place at the right time, of course. On a straight. I think Raikkonen just come out the final corner, so we still have time. We've got to get a good exit here on Verstappen and absolutely floor it now, which we have done. Got a lovely bit of slipstream on the Verstappen. Going to try and make a move down the inside. Just can't get it done though, and Verstappen holds on just about for P2. 7 laps to go in this Monaco Grand Prix, live on YouTube right now, and we've got to pull something out of the hat here to pass Max and hunt down Raikkonen if we can. Just nowhere to go though. Just nowhere to go to make a pass on Max. We're both catching up to Raikkonen, not much, but we are catching him by a small amount. I may have to take him here in the approach into the chicane if we get a good exit here, which we actually do so into the slipstream of Max once again. We're trying to do the same move we did on Vettel here, and a bit of wheel banging there once again, and we just about get it done there, and we move up to second place. So that was the move of the race, that, and it unleashes us to hunt down Kimi Raikkonen, who is only 8 seconds up the road, I must say. So it's all now down to me right now. We put away from Max, and that's not how you start a lap off. Nearly losing the back end there, being a bit cocky, trying to get a good exit out of that last corner. But now the hunt begins. We've only got 6 laps to try and catch up and pull an 8-second deficit to Kimi Raikkonen. It can be done, but traffic has to play a factor, and there actually is traffic up ahead for Kimi, so this could really help us here. 7.9 seconds is the gap right now as it stands. And the very encouraging signs is, as you can see, we're pulling away from Max Verstappen quite quickly, I've got to say. It's about 2 seconds, I would say, already since turn 1. So that's a very encouraging sign from us. Got to be thinking about tyre wear as well, and fuel. We've got to think about all that. And the tyre wear, I've got to say, for the ultra softs, I'm very surprised, considering we could maybe have pitted earlier on the super softs, but that is very interesting looking at that tyre wear. So we'll have to wait and see. But we're nearly now 2 seconds up on Verstappen as we're going to come across the line. For 5 laps to go, the gap is 6.2 seconds. We will have to go ham right now. In the words of Lewis Hamilton's race engineer, it's hammer time. Let's, or in my case, give a little more. So the gap's 6 seconds. We've gained a little bit on Raikkonen at this time. If we don't win this, I'm still taking a second place as a win for us. Considering it puts us back into the, not into the contentions of the championship just yet, as it's only the 6th round of the season, but it will put us in good stead than we were last season. And there is Raikkonen on the map. Going to come across the line now to start lap 36. 4 laps to go. The gap is now 4.6 seconds right now. It's all coming down then, guys, to the last few laps. Can these tyres, being this aggressive, get to the end of the race? That's the question. Just nearly at the wall there. We're giving everything we've got right now. 110% going into this. I really want to win this race. We have the pace. If we can keep these tyres at what they are at the minute, which I've got to say I'm very, very impressed with, that these have done this many laps. Just losing it, I don't want to hit the wall. Got a little bit of damage on the front right, as you can see. There's a bit, not fully green, but it's a weird green. And there is Raikkonen there, so we've got a lot of work to do right now. So what's the gap now? It is now 3.6 seconds as we hit the wall again. Somehow surviving once again. It's going to go down to potentially the last lap if we can keep this pace up on Raikkonen. We can just see him on the map there for the first time. Didn't even see what the gap was, but we can see a bit of red right now on that car. But as I said, it's going down to potentially the last lap of this race, and there is traffic right in front of Raikkonen, which is going to help us even more close this gap down, which is definitely what we need right now, and pull off a shocking win from where we started in P6 on the grid. And there is Raikkonen there. We've got that back marker coming up, may even ruin our race potentially. They come now into the slow chicane section where we've been so strong in all race over the AI. And you can just see that we've got a Renault. I think it's Magnussen, so Magnussen could potentially do me a favour here, or he may just screw me over, like Jody and Palmer did when we had Sebastian Vettel to try and get past. But we're now coming up now to 2 laps to go at the line, and we're now right on the back of the Ferrari of Raikkonen. I would insert some very exciting music, but we can't do that right now. Pressure's building now. Had to make that move on Palmer there. Even though he spun out, I had to make the move. Didn't give me much room there. But here we go, lads. The final lap of this Monaco Grand Prix. You can't get anything, you know, as exciting as this. Palmer may have cost us here the win, but you never know what might happen. But the last lap, once we cross the line, I will have to go because I've got to go and do some family stuff. But oh, we've hit the wall. That's definitely game over now. Just got stuck. So here we go. Still got time to catch up to Kimi Raikkonen right now. I think it's too little too late, but you never know in these races. We're running out of fuel as well. That's going to even make it even embarrassing for me. We've got to save fuel right now. But the only chance we've got now is the last corner and dive bomb. We'll have to wait and see. Coming up to the final corner we go now, and I think it's just too little too late, but we're going to pull off maybe a second place here. I'll take it on the chin, but a brilliant drive from us to get second place at the Monaco Grand Prix. A win was possible, but I'll take a second place over a win, and that is what we needed right there. A second place, job well done.
A great win then for the Maranello team today. Anthony, what do you think made the difference here?
Well, I think the track conditions just really suited their car today. Wind, track temperature, you name it. These cars come alive when the tyres are just at the right temperature. So the more easily you can keep them there, the better your race tends to go. And that's exactly what happened. Their car just looks so comfortable out there.
So here they come now, out onto the podium. Wherever you go, anywhere in the world, the prancing horse flags are dominant in the grandstands, and they're out in force again today. It's Ferrari on the top step once more.
And there's Raikkonen, and once again, Cody's have got this wrong again. Why is Raikkonen smiling? Can someone explain that, guys?
And now let's take a look at the driver's standings. It's a good result for Kimi Raikkonen, who extends his advantage at the top of the championship. And now I'd like to ask you, Anthony Davidson, who was your driver of the day?
It's a tough one, Crofty, but on balance, I think I'd go for Nico Rosberg. Quality
What?
stuff from start to finish.
And now let's take a look at the constructors' standings. Ferrari extend their lead at the top of the championship. There was also a strong showing from the McLaren team today as they make their way up the standings. There'll be plenty more twists and turns to come this season. I hope you can join us at the next race to see just who will come out on top.
So after that exciting Monaco Grand Prix, Raikkonen wins it by, excuse me, I just burped there, only by 0.7 of a second from myself, putting off a, oh, why am I burping again? A good strategy there. Max Verstappen third, Sebastian Vettel dropped down to fourth, Ricciardo didn't really work with his strategy, stayed where he was in fifth, Button up to sixth, Fernando Alonso, who I was very surprised did a two-stop strategy from where he started, down in 7th place, so it didn't really work out for McLaren, but both in the points, which is definitely important on there. Lewis Hamilton in 9th, and Ria Haryanto scores a point for Manor again. So let's get some hype in the chat if you're now watching this live for Manor and Ria Haryanto, with Rosberg in 11th, Pascal Verdun in 12th, and the only retirement was Nico Hulkenberg from the contact at the start of that one. But what does that mean for the Drivers' Championship? Raikkonen now leads the way by 21 points. We are now up to 5th, passing both Mercedes drivers, and we're catching up. We're only 73 points behind, but I don't really think about that. We're going to try and catch up to Vettel, who's only about 19 points ahead of us. So maybe just get ahead of one Red Bull, and even one Ferrari would be massive from us right there. And in the Constructors' Championship, we stay 4th, but we're now closed the gap to Mercedes to 9 points as well, and we're comfortably ahead of McLaren and Williams, who McLaren have now jumped Williams up to 5th position, with Ferrari leading the way by 23 points. But I'm going to end the episode off there, guys. I want to say a massive thank you to everyone who has come out for this Monaco Grand Prix. It wasn't a win, but it is a podium finish, which is definitely what we want on there. So I'll take that with very kind words on there. And thank you to all the subs as well that subscribed. I know I didn't get to mention all the names, but a lot of subscriptions came through in that race, as I saw in the chat. I will give you guys a shout out in the next video, the next stream on there. But we lose the battle, unfortunately, to Sebastian Vettel, only 30-27, but we'll take it on the chin anyway. And this is going to be nice to see. We're in the purple there. We're in the purple once again. We lose out to Vettel in the rivalry, but we are ahead in 8th in the championship, and that will do us there. And I'm not bothered about the career mode score, of course. We can skip that completely. But I'm going to end the episode there, guys. So thank you very much for the support on this race at Monaco. If you like what you see, make sure to slap a like on this. Let's try and go for 100 likes for the Monaco Grand Prix. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe as well for regular F1 content. I'll be back tomorrow for the next round. It is, of course, in Canada. So that is definitely one to watch out for as well, with the mixed conditions we have around Canada. You never know what's going to come with that one. But I'm going to end it there, guys. So massive thank you to everyone, as always, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for the next round of the championship, which is, of course, in Canada. Until then, have a fantastic day, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care, guys. See you later. Hashtag Ryan for Shuey.